Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmett's Silk will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. So we just made a big hole in the water? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, what about that? That looks like it. That could be it. What do you think? Hello? Is this where you live? Because I think that this would be where Emmett Silk would live. Do you live here? Oh, bye! Howdy. The finless ones. They followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient One? The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. I lied, I'm tired. Sleepy. So what's your plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Silk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return? We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo? Oh, right. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach did you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we were to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well, if they can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. Can't you guys do this and I'll go look? I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascian that first meets the eye. It warrants further investigating. Thus, I cast my vote in favor for aiding the settlement for the time being. Okay. Let's make allies of the Ondo. Not that I'm dying or anything, but that's fine. Then it is settled. Ishtola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Goodwill. You won't believe who I just bumped into. Is this the person you were helping? This is Pashish Owen, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited and you did not come. Then the mist still came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Pashish Owen. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps? Where the dry return, a cavern to the north is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, sniping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you? If you've not found a task, you're most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Where the dry return. Let's see where we're going. Are we gonna kick Emmett Silk's ass? That's the end of this game. You could crack their shells? You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Pashish Owen, this was to be a part of my apology, do you remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might it convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it was said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam aimless and lost until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long they had stood under the water, yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming and this great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history. Yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for the lesson, Pashish Owen, and I will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand, only do not try to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gains. Okay. Okay. You feel a bit strange? Everyone's walking around down here? Yeah, all the water is gone. Hi, Saimar. How are you doing today? All the water is gone, so everyone has to walk, I guess? I guess they would normally be swimming. Ah, Corey, have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Inspect the structures for distinctive features. Okay, we're looking for distinctive features. Is that distinctive? This larva? It seems harmless enough. It's not distinctive enough for you. Okay, fine. I thought it was pretty distinctive. Ooh, distinctive window. Is there a distinctive window there? I can't see. This tall, slender tower features feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. And what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. 'Twould seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade? Everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkin Empire, once the greatest power in Norvant, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkins, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emmett Selk withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are so many such remote locations. Why here, specifically? Emmett Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Built by ancient Ascians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here on the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Kitana Ravel. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano after our victory in Calusia. Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selk's own words, it depicts the city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? I feel like that's kind of pushing it, but okay. We are close to the truth. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. You may view the Kitana Ravel mural at any time during this quest. Okay. Quest destination will play. You must search for a structure which resembles the buildings in the mural and inspect it from the survey point. I guess that's like the top of the tower. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment, an entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Ascians. And yet, it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Alright. Okay, here we are.
Classic Capcom. Wait, it's Capcom? Capcom made it? Okay. What are we doing? Oh, we're gonna be with this Chola. He's Chola. Ages and seasons. That's so interesting. I guess I don't know. I don't think of Capcom doing a Zelda game. That's so weird. When did you switch to Lalifell? But if we are to find the stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions, and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Pasha's own again, and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. Ah, Afino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? Oh yes, I've just come from them. Wait, is that... The remnants to the northwest, yes? You visited them unbidden? Psh, could it be that your footsteps were guided by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. His name is Grenold. Oh wait, it's Grenold? You'll find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Grenold is the guy from, what do you call it? Grenold is the guy that Catless was talking about. Oh, that's just great, that is. Me mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenold, someone's come to visit ye at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as ye're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on me, rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman who what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a Doman hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. He seems to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Psych him up. Let's psych him up, guys. How's the day, Trigon? Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would ye, spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the Netherworlds. Oh no, he's hot. Have we met before? There might be as we cross paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name's Grenold, and this here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now what's so damned important that ye dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bother me? Oh, the Ondo's lamp. Girds, curse me empty head. I've not so much as made a start. I'm worthless than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, me workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleedin' artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing light to them ruins be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion, but I just can't bloody well. Ah, me mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away me last drop of inspiration. Tell me you got summit to show me. Summit as I'll give me muse a right good kick up the arse. The Ondo want to honor the coming of these ancients, so their answering lights got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of light caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly's not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Your thoughts turned to Renda Ray and the crystal you discovered at the end of her journey. Oh. Okay, so this is why we had to do the quest, like the really long quest. Or this, like, side quest, because of... Okay. Hey? I've let the Ondo down, but more than I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Okay. What's that you've got there? Such striking beauty. It shines with heartache and laughter and the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. Aye, you'd never capture such a gleam, not if you labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are me tools, goddamn ye? I must set to work before the feeling fades. I can feel it, a vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lass, and let me itching hands get to work. You have to just get yourself exactly. And I'm sure you will. Did he make it? And done. I've taken the wonders that Crystal showed me and channeled them into a new shape which befits the Ondo's spiritual character. Oh, wow! Look at this. See? That looks great! I knew you could do it. Not a bad job if I do say so myself. And to think, I was this close to hanging up me hammer after studying the craft of them ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvant and gobbled up every scrap of craft and wisdom which I could find. But no matter what technique I tried, me work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages, that's what drew me here in the first place. I built me workshop, got the forges burning, then lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speak directly to your heart. Nice. That's it. Aye, I can still feel him coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away, it's swelling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance and I reckon I can weave the crystal saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If ye could drag the lamp over to Tol's Eye for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. Nice. We love that he's back. What is it that you have there? Oh, here. I have the lamp. The sacred lamp. Then the Finless one has kept his promise. Most people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups, and now you come to me, bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak once again, once our prayers have been answered. Oh, 80 or higher. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm still doing the healing one, so I guess I just have to... Definitely want to see what that looks like, because that's so cute.
O stewards of the Ondo.
Of the Ondo.
We offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
Oh yeah, forgot to tell you.
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day.
Have a good night, Carolyn. Thanks for coming in with the raid. Thanks for being here.
So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal? It was render raised then. Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you.
Oh, Arbert. Hey, why do you think I should finish it another night? Give me your
Apologies,
argument.
we were a little late to the gathering.
Sorry, I'm just here talking to myself.
It seems we succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
I know, it's 1 a.m. for me as well. I'm like, I just want to finish. I want to see what happens. He took Amitsa, he took the Exarch. We have to find out where. What happened?
Those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emet-Selch was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
I am pretty tired. And
It's
I
a
know...
hollow dream when you think about it.
I know the last quest is going to take
Even
at
if they
least an
manage to
hour.
rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost.
With cutscenes and everything, probably
But
more.
would I have done any different?
How are you feeling?
But look at how cute my outfit is.
You have completed your devotions?
It's probably a lot of cutscenes, right?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city.
That's where he is.
The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes. Impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
Look at that outfit.
The gold, the jewelry? It's perfect.
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. They're just really nice Sahagins, I guess.
Shall we?
The chieftain has bid me guide your steps to the illuminated land. Come, the way lies downwards. Follow the path of coral and rock and join your comrades below. Okay, we're going to find Emmett Selk, who took our friend, Grahatia. Are you all are gathered, yes? Then I shall describe the path you must take. Enter the cavern beyond and follow the wall down and down and down. Once at the bottom, find a passage to the northwest, then continue west and west and west. The way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance and do not stray into the deep. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap and the barrier we placed at its mouth. This obstacle will fade should you raise a hand towards it. We have made it so. The most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. Right, deeper into the depths we go. Our guide bade us travel to the cavern floor and thence to the west. Yet 'twould seem these twisting tunnels defy such simple instruction. Rather than rely on direction alone, I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. Ah, Corey, you have a choice of 2 routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks or skip along this coral branch as Alice has done. I don't know why I can't talk. I, for one, shall be following my sister's example. Yeah. There you are. Come on. I think I found the tunnel we were looking for. Here. This must be the barrier the Ondo spoke of. Well, that was rather more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. 'Twas a treacherous path indeed. Now I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. Corey, I elect you to do the honors. Gone. Just like that. I suppose we should head in. Like as not, this tunnel will be just as perilous as the road we walked to get here. Let's all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we?
By the gods.
Oh my god. It's a whole city down here. Oh, wow. That's crazy. How is this down here?
When the Ondo spoke of a city, I did not think they meant an actual city.
Look at this. I have a story about these barnacles.
Then we are seeing the same view. The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid material structures. But these...
I thought she was blind.
Everything here pulses with ether. 'Tis an enchantment on a monumental scale.
Corey, did you note the style of the architecture? 'Tis the same used for the remnants at the cups and the murals painted towers. Look closely. Emmett Selk has not simply reclaimed these ruins, he has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Gods, the magnitude of his artifice is staggering, though it pains me to admit we did not fully understand the feats of which an old-world Ascian is capable. Oh, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Deity? No, because I don't... Meh. It's Paul! Welcome in, how are you? How are you doing today, my friend? I'm actually gonna take tenacity. It's intimidating, yes, but we have to start somewhere. Why don't we have a closer look at the tower to the southeast? We might be able to reach it from the end of the trench. That's insane, though. Do you see this place? This looks like Gotham City. Look at the size of those doors. Now I know how pixies must feel. What? Corey Bear recognized? Welcome to the city of Amarat? Will you be riding the lift? Did the building just welcome you? Mayhap is not so passing strange. Did Emmett Selk not invite Corey to visit his abode? 'Tis plain thy coming was expected. And where will this lift be taking us? This lift services every level of Akora Heights, but is presently configured to convey passengers directly to the ground floor. Well, there you have it. In the absence of some few hundred yalms of rope, we have little choice but to accept the offer. With emphasis on we, I'm not about to let you walk into that place alone. Do you think Alice likes us? Likes us? I feel like she likes us. I wish to ride the lift. Building once it's inside of it. Hype. Yes. As you wish. The lift will arrive shortly. Lady Estradio. Oh, Simar. Okay. Okay, welcome in. How are you? I was like, maybe I know that name? We are at the end of Shadowbringers. We're going to see him itself now. So we are in where's it called? Amarat. We're in Amarat right now. Yes. So we are here. Look at this place. This is pretty cool, huh? And look, there is an attuning. I guess I wasn't expecting a whole city. Cool. How are you today? Nobody expects this. I know, this is so cool looking. And it looks so modern. Like skyscrapers and stuff. It's only at this distance that you start to realize just how big the buildings truly are. What did that voice call the city? Amarat? Look, over there. Is that a person? No, my mistake. That's a giant. I did look large. Giant or no, a resident of this place may have much and more to tell us. I say we make the first move. I think that's how we're gonna die, Alpha No. Alpha No, you can't, yes, you can't just go talk to people, Alpha No. Oh, look, it's got like an Ascian mask on. Hello? Hey, excuse my boldness, but might I ask you a few questions? What adorable costumes. Are your children on an excursion? This district has much to teach you. It's a robot? How odd. That sounded like no language I'd ever heard, and yet I understood every word. Just as he understood us. him. And what district is this, exactly? You must be lost, poor things. You stand in the Polylarite district, wherein lie the institutions most vital to the management of our star. It's like a capital city? Do you know where Emet-Selch is? Ah, I see. You've come to marvel at the workings of the Convocation of 14. Hardly surprising, I suppose. The whole world holds its breath as the final days draw near, and our brightest minds race to implement their plans. Thus, you must understand that gaining an audience at this time will be next to impossible. You should hurry home now, before your families begin to worry. Do you need me to walk you back? He's a nice giant. No, thank you. We will be fine. Very well. Take care, little ones. That's very nice of you. Bye. The Ondo tell you they saw a huge glowing city, but nobody realizes they mean it, right? Don't worry, talking to people is what he does. To my eyes, these people appear as arcane entities. I suspect Emet-Selch wove them from ether, much as he reconstructed the rest of the city. The final days. Such words will befit the oblivion described to us by our Ascian foe. Well befit. A catastrophe of unprecedented scale, which did set in motion the summoning of Zodiark, and thence Hydaelyn herself. But that happened centuries and centuries ago, didn't it? The man spoke as if they were rushing to avert a disaster here and now. Unless, for these people, the distant past is the here and now. I believe thou hast the right of it, Master Alphino. This ethereal emerald and its residents appear to be phantoms of a different age. Emet-Selch hath resurrected a memory in time from before the star was sundered. So we did find ourselves in a long-destroyed city uninhabited by the long-departed. An unusual situation, to be sure, but at least we're able to parley with these ancients. In fact, they seem downright eager to chat. I say we use this to our advantage. Split up, strike up some conversations, and see if we can't learn the location of our quarry. And while we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to wheedle out a few more details regarding this Convocation of 14 and their impending disaster. To mingling, then. Let's meet back here when our jaws start aching. I don't know if that means what you think it means, Thancred. Hey, Lunati, how are you? Yes, please hide from spoilies. Don't spoil yourself. That's actually what I was saying. Like, these buildings look so modern. I think a lot of it is that they're lit. Like, each room is lit like there's... I don't know. Electricity. Is there electricity here? Is there electricity? No, right? 'Twould seem the hall is host to a most precocious visitor this day. And what, pray tell, shall be the subject of our discussion, young one? I'm so tiny. Ah, the Convocation and their handling of the coming peril. 'Tis only natural that you should have questions. Shall we begin with the members themselves? As all know, the 14 are the wisest and most puissant among us. They are the stewards of order, responsible for decisions which keep the star turning, season after season. Be it the speaker La Brea or the emissary Elidibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Logrif, Mitron, Emmett Selk, their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect and a matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus, it is with great incredulity that I greet this recent rumor that a seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, 'twould be an unprecedented development and testament to the immense pressure under which our saviors are toiling. In any event, I, for one, am confident they shall deliver our star unto salvation. Good gracious, child, where is your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home, quickly now. Have you not heard? Though yet confined to the lands across the sea, a terrible phenomenon affects our star. They are calling it the final days. 'Tis said it starts suddenly, a cacophonious keening from beneath the earth. The sound distorts all living things within earshot and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, even dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance. An eternal fall of fiery rain and incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. 'Tis as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical to life now festers and spreads. 'Tis only a matter of time until Amarat too resounds to that discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. An audience with Emmett Selk? I'm afraid you have the wrong office, little one. And besides, he will be far too busy to field the questions of curious children. Surely you've been told of the looming catastrophe? Every resource available to the convocation must be spent upon ensuring our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it's said the 14 are moving forward with a plan of scarce credible proportions, one which promises to grant will to the very star itself. Oh, is that to, like, summon Zodiac? We will invoke our mightiest spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. 'Tis a huge undertaking, and it must be completed ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus, I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. Oh, I guess that they're trying to summon Zodiac, right? Is this... But didn't Hydaelyn get summoned after Zodiac? Maybe they lived for a little bit longer. I don't know. Corey, if it were not certain before, then I am now. The people of this city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emmett Selk to recreate this ancient Amarat. And yet, I fancy I hear his words to us echoing throughout this ocean trench. He would have his story known. Oh, you know what I need to do? We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully then our next move will become clear. Twould seem our conversations were much alike. A looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and this convocation's efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Yuriange, if I may, what are your thoughts on the ancients' art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. All the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. 'Tis not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony breathed life into figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion, then.
The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seems they paid the cost with not more than a fraction of the ether which coursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals perhaps, or from the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Selk. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly, mayhap, but from what we've seen, it seems the Convocation of 14 is sequestered in the nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant won't let us through without a writ of permission. So we tried our luck at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued, but the clerk there said he couldn't help us since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wonder, though, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The voice in the lift seemed to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered at the bureaus as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I'll head back to the capital and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray, allow me accompany thee on thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. Okay. Ahem. I'd like to speak with more of these ancients. Maybe they know something that could help cure Corey's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Oh, Alice say. Of course, I don't mind. Just lead the way. Then Chola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in front of the capital. A visitor's writ? Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please? Corey Bear. Please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. As your residency was approved by Selk himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of the Secretariat, and the clerk will issue you a visitor's writ for the capital. Oh, Selk, eh? Next, please. Let's see, I have documentation. Here you go. Visiting the capital, are we? Please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. I guess maybe they're just really long. It's a really long voyage for me because I'm so much smaller than everyone else, which is just something that I can relate to on a real world scale. Fever the hydrate, I guess. It's lemon lime spicy water. Look how tiny I am. Oh no, it's the light. May I? Oh, he's sitting down next to me. You, I think, are from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Selk? Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade, here and not here. I know only that my name is Hythlodius, and that this city is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. Hythlodius?
These others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emmett Selk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hythlodaeus will realize the truth, for example. We were close friends once, you see. Yet, in spite of my perception, I play the same role as all the rest, a bit part, meant to bring color and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny, and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. Well, that's kind of you. The Ascians are really kind. They're really nice. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days. What began as isolated incidents soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They will repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required an immense source of power. For those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. And from their sacrifice, Zodiark was born, just as we had hoped. He reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet, oh how the star had suffered. So many species lost. The land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give of themselves to Zodiark. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure the trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives. That went really fast. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. The Convocation decided thus. We would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality, then when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiark. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiark, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. Those dissidents surrendered their life energies in the creation of Hydaelyn, an incarnation of their opposing belief, and the first time in history our people stood divided. Know you then how this conflict ended? Huh, I thought you might. There's Emmett Selk. Emmett Selk, you're much shorter than the rest of your brethren. Emmett Selk has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiark. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will not abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, Emmett Selk is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine they have only grown heavier with every passing century. Are we supposed to feel bad for Emmett Selk now? 'Tis truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. But isn't he a clone? He's not even like the real Emmett Selk. Oh, that's me. It seems your turn has come. Pray, do not let me keep you. Look how small I am. There was one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Oh, it's Ardbert!
Nay, I see no definite form, just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear his ethereal companion? Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The color of your souls tells the tale. We were split? A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. We're the same soul? This is just the kind of fate I might expect for one such as she. Surely Emmett Selk has recognized the hint of her in you. Why are you looking so angry? Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. Goodbye! Okay, so it's the real Emmett Selk, just not in his original body. He looks evil. He is pretty evil, Gogus. I mean, I don't know, maybe he tried not to be evil for a while, but then he was, yeah, then he was evil. Small character, my small character. They were making clones of the Garlean founder, Solus, which is, in fact, Emmett Selk. But that was just so he could have spare bodies. Okay, so he just is putting himself in different bodies, but it's Emmett Selk. They're just cloning the bodies, but not like him in general. Okay. Your visitor's writ, as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing, too. Urianger and I weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and an official entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasteth not a single armed sentry. It would seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded. Though mightily did we strive, with strength mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of one ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emmett Selk's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Ryan and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is, these ancients didn't exist beyond Amarots today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? Yeah, we met Hythlodius? A great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection? And you say all the Ascian scheming has been leading to this? All this time, but if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with the rejoining. I thought we knew their intentions in full. Restore the world to its former glory, and in turn empower Zodiark to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet that was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it into words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Ascians meant to draw on the lives of the Source to make their sacrifice to Zodiark. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Ascians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving when all our history, all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. That's crazy. It's just a bunch of sacrificing us. Of course not, and that's to say naught of what Emmett Selk plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find him, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before and those who came after, by everyone you've ever met. change things so that even my other self, dying somewhere in that future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would win. Is fighting Emmett Selk the only way? Oh, are we gonna fight Emmett Selk? Stop. He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him. If we even can. And if you push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. Alice hit you with some feels with that line. I feel like she, likes us. I know that, us being the main character, there's no actual relationship. It's up to you what your character's lore would be, but I feel like they set it up so that, if you wanted to date Alice, or if Alice was your lover, then it would totally make sense.